So you're new to the finals, but you're thinking, holy cow, there is so much I have to learn in this game, but it's such a cool game I want to keep playing. Well, you found the right video, because today we're going to talk about 25 uncommon tips for new players in the finals. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So even if you're a seasoned finals player, there might be some tips in this video that you didn't know about. So it might be worth the watch. We're going to break everything down into chapters for you, all 25, so you don't have to worry about not being able to find certain tips. It'll all be laid out at the end. And with that being said, let's get started with tip number 1. And that is, you can pick up equipment. Now, I'm not talking about things like grenades. Obviously, you can't pick those up. I'm talking about things like traps, glitch traps, explosive mines, jump pads, that if you mistakenly put something in the wrong area, or you want to pick up the jump pad quickly after you maybe didn't use it, you can pick up equipment after it's been placed. Number 2, you have to shoot the new ARN light class assault rifle until it's empty to get the quick reload. Now this is important because the reload itself isn't necessarily quick. Say you shoot 20 bullets and you hit the reload button, not that quick. You shoot all the way till the first of 2 magazines is empty, very quick reload into the second 30 bullets. Tip number 3, might seem obvious, but maybe you don't know it. You can shoot mid-reload on single bullet reload guns. So this would be the new CB01 repeater. This would be the shotgun on medium class, or any other marksman weapon that is a single reload gun. Okay, number 4, every time you toggle your big front shield for heavy, that shield loses some of its health. So you'll notice here in the video, we go from 750 down to a little below 600 just by toggling the shield on and off. There was a point where in the very beginning you didn't lose any health on the shield. Then they went to you couldn't toggle quickly between the shield being on and off. And now I think they found a happy medium where you can still jump around and flick your shield on and off, but you do lose some shield health whenever you do that. Number 5, you can melee throwables to activate them while you're carrying them. So a side note here, this used to be very important for the red throwables, but now it's more important for the green gas ones and the orange ones. So the orange ones takes 2 or 3 melees, depending on how much damage the throwable has taken, and then you can throw it and it'll explode a lot faster. Same with the green one that has gas. You can hit it, it'll activate that gas, and then once you throw it, it'll explode quicker than if you just threw it without first hitting it. Number 6, you can place the Guardian turret on ceilings and walls. Now, this is especially useful if you're in a room or an area that has a lot of obstacles or cover that you're going to be behind, but you still want to have an effective turret placement. In lower ceiling rooms, this is particularly nice because you'll get a nice scan radius without having to jump up on anything or put it in an awkward spot. So I find myself using it on lower ceiling rooms quite a bit. Number 7, and this goes hand in hand with number 6, it matters which way you place the turret because of the scanner at the front. So you'll notice that when you put the turret down, it right away doesn't really do anything, but then the gun attached to it comes up and it starts to scan the area of effect that it'll have. And so you can get in trouble if you put the turret, maybe facing too much in one direction where it doesn't scan the whole area of where enemies might be coming from. And so just be aware that wherever that laser is pointing, that's the only area that it can shoot people. Number 8, might seem a bit obvious, but if you never really play heavy, it's not. Charge and slam has 2 parts. So the charge part and the slam part. So when you're mid-charge as a heavy, if you jump up, you will then slam down onto the ground. You can do this right off the bat as soon as you activate that ability, or you can do it towards the end, which is what I usually end up doing. Number 9, again, might seem a little obvious, but if you're new to the game, it's not. You can rematerialize walls, even walls that your opponents dematerialized. So the medium class has the ability, the dematerializer, And if you're on mouse and keyboard, I only play on mouse and keyboard, so I don't know what the controller inputs would be, so I'm sorry about that. But if you're on mouse and keyboard and you're a new player and you're playing with the dematerializer, left click will dematerialize walls, ceilings, etc. And then when you look back at the wall that you dematerialized or that an opponent did, you can right click. It'll turn a little bit of a shade of red. You can then right click and it will rematerialize those walls. Okay, number 10, thermal vision lets you see invisible players. Now this is a perk that is available for the light class, and it would take the place of any other equipment or gadget. And when you activate it, it's just straight up thermal vision. There's nothing else. You can see where everybody is, regardless of whether they are visible or invisible. And it's especially useful if a team is running all lights with 2 invisibles or everybody's invisible. It really kind of helps in those situations. It's definitely a specific use case ability, but it can be very strong if you're going up against a lot of lights who are also running the invisible perk. Okay, number 11. Again, I'm on mouse and keyboard, so I don't know the binds for controller, but if you are on mouse and keyboard as well, whenever you throw grenades or certain kinds of equipment, you can right-click to underhand throw them. I use this all the time with the invisibility bomb for light, or with grenades if I just want to barely get a grenade over a ledge or kind of tumble one down the stairs without whipping it off the wall. With my left click, you can right click and underhand toss a lot of things. Okay, number 12. On heavy with the winch claw, you can use that to grab the cash out and the cash box, as well as pretty much anything else. Now, obviously, you can grab people with that, but you can also grab throwables with that. You can grab the cash box with that. You can grab the cash out station with that. A lot of things you can grab with the winch claw, so you can get really creative with that, and you can make a lot of people angry as well if you get good with the winch claw. So definitely something to think about. Okay, number 13. You can shoot through your team's dome shield and your heavy's front shield if they're using the mesh shield ability. This is a huge one for, I'd say, a little bit higher level play, or even something like power shift, where a lot of heavies have the dome shield and they throw it down on the platform. You can shoot through that. It's not just going to protect you. You can shoot completely through it. Also, if the heavy is standing in front of you with the mesh shield, you stand behind that shield. Maybe you ask your heavy to sit still, and you can shoot through the shield without taking any damage. Number 14, something to think about when you're using the winch claw on heavy. If you use your winch but you miss whatever you're trying to grab, it still goes on cooldown. So it's not a particularly long cooldown, but you have to be careful, because if you're trying to make a play, the winch claw often, that play often relies on you hitting your winch claw. And if you miss, you're going to have to improvise pretty quickly. Number 15, you can throw and quickly catch red throwables again to be more accurate when throwing them. Now, this has actually been, I don't want to say fixed, but made a lot easier in the most recent Season 6 update. Before, you had to, and in the video you see here, throw the red, then grab it again, and then throw it, because if not, it would just kind of bounce around and then explode. Now, it's a lot easier, but still, if you want, you can throw and then recatch whatever you're throwing again to be more accurate whenever it explodes. Number 16, pretty basic one here, but if you're brand new, you wouldn't know. You can throw the cash box to your teammates, and with that being said, also to your enemies. Number 17, now this is a big one, especially with the introduction of the lock bolt for the heavy class, but you can shoot out sonars and tethers. So on the light class, they throw the sonar grenade, and it scans an area. You can shoot that out immediately. As soon as that hits the ground and it starts scanning, shoot that out, as long as you have time and as long as it's not going to cost you. Same thing with the lock bolt tether. A lot of people don't know what to do. They just try to run away when they're tethered, but that's kind of the point of the tether. You can't run away. Instead, if you can, quickly try and get rid of it by shooting it, and then you can fight. Number 18, you can get enemies or teammates stuck in the goo from your goo gun. Now, this is where you can really start making some crazy plays with something like the goo gun. You shoot people with the goo gun. They get stuck for a couple seconds as the goo then disintegrates because it realizes that they're in it. But by that time, you're already in their face with a shotgun or a heavy melee weapon or something like that. You can really make some crazy plays with this tip. Okay, number 19, you can use goo grenades to climb buildings. I think this is a very underrated thing that most people don't really take advantage of. So instead of running, let's say, evasive dash, where you have a little bit of movement, you run a different light ability, but you couple that with a goo grenade because then you can just bang, 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 climb any building by throwing the goo grenade into the wall and then climbing on top of that and doing the same thing again. Okay, number 20, you can bounce things off of jump pads. So not just yourself off of jump pads. You can bounce grenades. You can bounce the cash box. You can bounce the cash out. Some crazy plays with this. You can dematerialize the floor right below a cash out. You could put a jump pad on the floor. That cash out is then going to bounce off of that and make it quite a bit harder for anybody else to steal until they get rid of that jump pad. Okay, number 21. Now, this is actually a Steam challenge as well if you play on Steam. I've yet to get it. I want to get this someday real bad. You can kill people with the cash box. So you'll see on screen there, the cash box to a medium does about 2 bars of damage. And if you can get it right, and this was in one of the trailers as well, I forget which season it was. I think season like 3 or something like that. You can get a kill with the cash box, which is pretty cool. Okay, number 22. This one, let me know your feedback on this one because, at least from my testing in the range, what seems to be the case is when you have a cash box and you're carrying it, if you melee it and even couple that with a jump and then a melee, it seems to me to then launch the cash box a little bit further. Not sure if this is just placebo or it's what it seems to be. But let me know in the comments if that's actually true, because what seems to be happening is when I melee it and then throw it like half a second after, it goes further. Okay, number 23. When you're grappling with the light character, if you press spacebar again on mouse and keyboard, or in this case it would be the jump button on controller, when you press that jump button mid-grapple, it will cancel the grapple. So if you didn't want to swing around all the way up to where you're trying to go, if you just want to do a quick little grapple somewhere and then turn around and shoot, press the jump button mid-grapple and it will cancel that. Number 24, jumping off the end of a zip line, even a vertical zip line, gives you a momentum boost. So I use this all the time. Might seem like a basic tip, but it really can be nice when you're flying into an area, pell-mell, and you want to get a little bit of a boost into a slide off of a zip line. Even off of, like I mentioned, a vertical straight-up zip line, you can do this and get a little bit better of an exit from the zip line and try and make a play like that. And the last tip here of the video, if you don't know where a gateway goes, and a gateway is a light class ability that is basically a teleporter. So if you don't know where that goes, if you look here closely, there's little tiny things coming out of each gateway that point them towards the other gateway. So even if a gateway is inside and you can't see exactly what floor it's on, you can get a pretty decent idea of what direction it is by looking at these little pixels coming out of the gateway that you're looking at. Okay, and that is 25 uncommon tips for the new player in the finals. It's been a couple weeks since the new season has dropped, and I've noticed a little bit of a bump in player count, and with that I think comes some new players. And us as seasoned players, we need to be nice to these new players, because this game is, if they're coming from just a regular Call of Duty shooter or something that doesn't involve much outside of shooting the gun, it can be a little bit intimidating getting into the finals at the beginning. So we got to try and help the new players as much as we can. If you got any value out of this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. Again, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, and it would mean a lot if you subscribe to the channel. So thank you in advance. I really appreciate it if you watched all the way to the end, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.